Alright everyone, Terrain here. How to make factory buildings part 2. Let's use the camera falling over. Making sure the camera's all sorted out. Now in part 1 I showed you how to make the wall sections from bits of foam and how to make the walls and how to cut windows. Now part 2 I'm going to start making the actual buildings. Now this is another section of wall I've made. 2 windows, a solid and a rec, kind of to show you how it's done. Now solid ones always I'd advise to be at the corner because it provides the strength. You can then put whatever you want along the side. I wouldn't cut doors until the end, and I'll show you why later on or in another video. Now this window frame was actually a mistake that I made when I was cutting the window. I cut too deep and it snapped off. If you do break a window or a piece, never throw it away, because if worse comes to worse you can break it up and use it as rubble. But if it does it like that, you can use it as just a ruined section or anything to end the building with, unless you want solid edges. Now once you've got the sections of building you want, no matter how long, you can have them that long or however long you want the building. You want to take another solid block for another corner section, and you want to put a cocktail stick in on the end of a cocktail stick in. It's a 45-degree angle with the point sticking outwards. So I just need to find my other bit. So take the cocktail stick, stick it in the corner, pull it back out, and then push it in so you've got the 2 points sticking out. You then want to take the wall section you want to make the corner with. I'm going to try and show this, and you basically want to do the same. Push the cocktail sticks 45 degrees into the other wall section, and there you get your 90-ish degree corner. Now you will get this bit here with a gap, but you can always put something in there later on. So you've got all of that there. I'm trying to adjust the camera a second without it falling over. There we go. Alright. Now you don't really need to have a base for any of your buildings. You can just leave them to freestand on their own. However, if you want to make rubbled buildings, then it's best to have a base. So now you're going to see the bottom floor section of one I've made earlier. Now for this I used a base of just bog standard cardboard. You can use hardboard, most modelers do, however hardboard is expensive in places, so it's best to use what you've got to hand. Now there are 3 solid wall sections joined together with 2 broken bits at the edges with the corners. You can just see one of the cocktail sticks up here. Now when you're making damage marks like this, take a knife or something sharp, dig into it, really slam into it, but be careful not to hurt yourself, and the bits that you break off of the wall stick around the base. But I'll show you more about how to put details on later on in the details section. But for now it's time to show you how to make the floors for your people to stand on. Now what I do is I take a ruler. Now you've seen a ruler in the bridging sections one, which is also for the imperial sector, but rulers are great in my eyes because they're sturdy and strong and you can make good flooring out of them. What I do is I'll break some of them up, go down the local store, buy some cheap rulers and break them up into sections. Once you've got lots of sections like so, you want to start lining them up with where you want them or where you want your people standing. Now with this I could have them the floor this far over or this far over. That's up to your opinion. When you're ready to put the floor on, run a line of glue over the top for as long as the ruler is, or however long you want the ruler to be. Now with most of them you get this slight indent here. I'm not sure you can see that in the shadows. I use that to line up at the edge of the wall. So then I know that I've got it at 90 degrees for however close I want it to be. So there we go. So that bit stuck on there. I might put on another piece. This one's from a different bit of ruler. Let's see if I've got another piece, another line of glue. Put the lid back on. How am I doing for time? That's right. And again, stick it on. Now I've left the gap, but don't worry about that gap because you will be putting on extra flooring, which will come in a later video. Now, once you finish that, you could stop quite happily and you'd have a one floor building, or you can move on and keep going and keep adding sections for however high you want the building to be in the end. Now I need another blob up there. I'm going to put this piece in there just to complete the floor. Okay, and what you should do is let this dry, but as it's for a quick video, I'm not. Okay. Now you want to take the section you made in earlier with the corner on, which is going to be the upstairs section. Just trying to fix it back together because it's unfortunately come apart. You can glue it back together later on, so it looks a bit rough now. Again, I'm put glue along the outside edge now, so you get the overhang. For the moment it doesn't matter if it doesn't look exactly how you want, because a good thing is you can always edit it. Okay, so there is the next section. Stay tuned for part 3.